When the pandemic first hit in March 2020, most international travel shut down. You guys probably remember canceling summer vacation trips and pretending to be upset that you couldn't go to your cousin's destination wedding in Cancun. Well, now that the vaccines are out, the world is slowly opening back up again, including, as of this morning, America. Yeah, that's right. America is open for tourism again, which means come on in, everybody. Come on in. But before you get on that plane, there are some rules.
The U.S. today will reopen its borders to international visitors as long as they are fully vaccinated. People from more than 30 countries will be allowed to travel to the U.S. as long as they show proof of vaccination and a recent negative COVID test. Coronavirus restrictions have kept the crossings closed for nearly 20 months. Exceptions include travelers under the age of 18 and those from countries with low vaccination availability.
Wow! That's a boatload of countries. What is it, like a list of 50? Like, okay, maybe it's just me, but this is a little confusing. They're saying the virus is so deadly, you can't come to America unless you're vaccinated. But also, if you don't have the vaccine, no biggie. I mean, the policy is a little all over the place, no? It's almost like Dr. Fauci and Nicki Minaj worked together on a group project. I mean, the only other time you see this logic is from a bouncer at a nightclub. You know? They'll be like, hey, we got no room. Come on, guys, we're totally full, man. Yo, totally full. Back up, no room. Hey, yeah, come on in, ladies, come on in. Yeah, come on in. Good to see you, girl. Yeah, you're looking good. Yeah, come on. Hey, man, what'd I tell you? No room. It's a fire hazard, B. And let's be honest, people. This travel rule seems to be more about feelings than actual public health, right? Because clearly the Biden administration is trying to balance public safety with not looking like you're banning shithole countries. Because now you're in a conundrum. Do you let unvaccinated people into the US, even though that's more of a risk, or do you look racist? Either way, it's a problem that could have been averted if America had shared its vaccines instead of having 6 vaccines for every man, woman, and emotional support animal. I'm just saying. Oh, and one person who definitely doesn't have the vaccine is the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. Last week, Rodgers came down with COVID, which is how everyone learned that he wasn't vaccinated. Yeah, and apparently Rodgers tried some homeopathic treatment instead of getting the vaccine. And that took a lot of people by surprise because back in the preseason, he said this.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
Yeah, I've been immunized. Not vaccinated, immunized. That was a pretty slippery answer looking back at it. This is like your girl asking if you're wearing a condom. You put on a bike helmet and you're like, yeah, I'm wearing protection. And after this news broke, everyone wanted to know why. Why did Aaron Rodgers refuse to get vaccinated and hide it from everyone? And on Friday, he went on a podcast to give his side of the story.
I'm not, some sort of anti-vax flat earther. I am somebody who's a critical thinker. You guys know me. I march to the beat of my own drum. I consulted with a now good friend of mine, Joe Rogan, after he got COVID, and I've been doing a lot of the stuff that he recommended in his podcasts. I've been taking monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, zinc, vitamin C and D, HCQ. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy and the ability to make choices for your body, not to have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed, group of individuals who say you have to do something. The great MLK said that you have a moral obligation to object to unjust rules and rules that make no sense.
Oh, that actually reminds me of another famous MLK quote. I have a dream that when I'm gone, you'll leave me out of your messy ass drama. So Rodgers basically says that he's an independent thinker who doesn't want to be told what to do with his body. And I don't know, you ever notice how all the independent thinkers are doing the exact same thing, right? It's not like they're all coming up with different ideas. Like, I'm an independent thinker. What are my thoughts, Joe Rogan? Tell me about my independent thoughts. But you can tell how politics has just infected the entire vaccine debate, right? Because you'll never see Aaron Rodgers doing this to anything else. He's never applying this kind of independent thinking to the rest of his body. Like just once, I'd love to see him out there on the field like, forget pads and helmets. I've decided to cover myself in Manuka honey. And honestly, people, my biggest problem with athletes like Aaron Rodgers or Kyrie Irving is that they think that this choice only affects themselves. But there are real victims here. And yes, I'm talking about those of us who play fantasy sports. Because it used to be when you drafted players, all you had to take into account was their injury history or their team's off-season moves. Now you got to be like, okay, what are the chances that this player gets his news from Facebook? I'm going to lose points. And if you're wondering, isn't there a cultural figure out there who can challenge Aaron Rodgers? You know, someone who's pro-vaccination and who everyone respects? Well, worry no more, because help is on the way.
And now Big Bird is causing a stir over the COVID vaccine. The Sesame Street character, who is 6 years old on the show, posted about getting the vaccine after the Pfizer shot was approved for kids as young as 5. Texas Senator Ted Cruz responded to Big Bird's tweet saying, government propaganda for your 5-year-old.
All right, first of all, Ted Cruz, you need to calm down. Right? 5-year-olds aren't even going to see Big Bird's tweet. 5-year-olds aren't on Twitter. They're on TikTok. And honestly, I'm surprised Ted Cruz is even going hard after Big Bird, considering how much they have in common. I mean, they both desperately want to fly, but they can't. This whole thing is such a double standard, right? People are upset about Big Bird getting the vaccine, but no one cares about all the hormone injections that they've been giving him to make him as big and delicious as possible when they eventually eat him. Because that's going to happen, people. It's only a matter of time. And it's going to be the worst Thanksgiving episode of all time. I mean, I will say, though, Big Bird getting vaccinated is not an effective way to convince people to get the shot. If they really want to convince kids, they should have killed one of the Sesame Street characters with COVID. Yeah, kids remember that shit. The Count should be there on his deathbed like, the vaccine could have saved me, but it's too late now. How many regrets do I have? 1 regret. 2 regrets. Yeah, your kid will remember that shit forever. Now, look, Big Bird is entitled to his opinions, but it turns out not every giant bird feels the same way. And we here at The Daily Show, well, we want to hear from all sides. So in the interest of fairness, here to offer an opposing and equally important opinion, please welcome independent thinking bird.
Thanks for having me on, Trevor. I'm excited to spread the truth.
Wow. I hope that's all you're spreading. Now, I understand that you disagree with Big Bird?
It's not about disagreeing, Trevor. It's about keeping an open mind. Everyone says, listen to your doctor. But what about listening to this guy I met at the gym? His cousin got vaccinated, and 2 days later, his nipples fell off. That's why you should do your own research.
Come on, that can't be true. And also, I assume that means you're not vaccinated?
I still have my nipples, don't I?
I can't tell. Are you vaccinated or not?
Even better, I'm immunized. That means I use alternative medicine, so I'm safe from disease and big pharma.
But what alternative medicine is more effective than the vaccine?
Well, I do yoga, I get acupuncture, and every night before bed, I drink a warm glass of goat piss. Which reminds me, today's show is brought to you by the letter P. Yum.
No, do not listen to him, kids. We're not sponsored by the letter P. Nobody drink P, please.
Sounds like Trevor's part of the cancel culture woke mob. I've been on Team Goat for years, and so far, the only diseases I've had are measles, mumps, rubella, early onset Alzheimer's, whooping cough, Ukrainian smallpox, early onset Alzheimer's, and bird flu. Or as we birds call it, the flu. Oh, that reminds me. Today's Daily Show is also brought to you by the letter B. That's the hepatitis I don't have.
Okay, you know what? This is pointless. We shouldn't have done this. Let's get you out of here before everyone gets sick. Thank you, independent thinking bird.
Oh, hey, can I use the bathroom on the way out?
No, it's for employees only.
That's okay. I'll go on your windshield.
You're gonna shit on my windshield?